to Boston, where the Eastern Conference champions show no signs of stepping back. The Celtics, he's out there with SGA. Josh Giddey coming off a triple-double. Luguentz Dort and Alex Post in a row with the Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, in the backcourt. Jalen Lee. Boston, Massachusetts. There's a little nip in the air. Fall has definitely arrived here in New England. Second player to ever do that in his first two trips to New York. The other, Wilt Chamberlain.
CA have the ball going downhill.
There's the rookie Williams, gets his first shot of the night, and it goes. See a lot of Al Horford operating from that free throw line area. Kind of the linchpin of the offense that way, and rolling to the rim.
Fourth time in 5 games, last 5. So his facilitating, his passing, improving, showing a little bit of everything from 3. And of course, that last play for him getting to the paint.
The rookie Williams just under
defense to rebound and bring it up and initiate offense. What a luxury to have.
One of the things they were intrigued.
High energy to be on this Thunder Ball Club.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander over the top of Smart and got it. Gilgeous-Alexander, terminology, that was a few years back now. The no demonstrative acts that'll get you teed up. I think that's a great example. One, as they go up by 6, down goes Brown, and a whistle on the play.
This year has really been in the mid-range, shooting more from the mid-range and being more. Did you keep going with it, or?
No. I was genuinely asking. Giddey. Welcome back to Boston Center Court, presented by Google Pixel.
You have to expect they'll start to knock some things down on the offensive end.
And there it is on cue. And that figures to get even more so the case when Chet Holmgren can play next year. Been out there with Pokusevski and SGA, Sam Presti, and the Thunder brain trust. Giddey pokes it away from Horford. Josh
so
Giddey
good
in traffic, takes the bump from Williams.
Forcing turnovers and converting off of them. That's what this team does. And Grant Williams.
Welcome to Boston, where the Eastern Conference champions. Boston with the Oklahoma City Thunder coming in and putting up 35 in the first quarter. They lead.
When we look at this young team, and as they're beginning to climb another mountain, Sam.
Shooting 5 threes a game, but obviously he's encouraged to do that. I'm happy he's shooting those shots, because I remember now you get Chet Holmgren in the mix and get these other guys in the mix as well, watching these guys grow. Little thing that you could have in this game, because you're chasing greatness, but you have a great telling you how to get there. And that's what's so important.
Tatum shakes his head as he finally knocks down a 3, his first in 7 attempts.
The first few weeks, I would have to say Boston. I didn't think they would come out like this, to be honest with you. They went through a lot, obviously, leading the story. If Ben Simmons can round the shape, if Kyrie can come back,
but you know what? I'm not mad at that.
There's talent for sure. There's no question about that. It's all the stuff surrounding.
Oh, man, I thought we were supposed to ask the questions, man.
He flipped the script.
He flipped the script.
That's a smart broadcaster
right there. That's a smart guy right there. No.
It felt like a dig.
No,
disguised as a question.
I actually thought there were more. I guess.
There have been times when there were.
It's real, Matt. This is all unscripted.
I know it
talk.
is. Pokusevski knocks down use most of it.
I got it. And simplify it in a way where they can grasp it. I get it. Oh,
sure.
Nice.
Pokusevski there.
Concerned it is early, and obviously you mentioned not having Robert Williams III. This layup up and one of the elite defensive players on the interior.
He does so many things well for Boston. Isaiah Joe lost it midair. Jaylen Brown comes back to Tatum, who punches it home. In the box score are starting to show up because of analytics. So now we know that he leads Boston in screen assists.
Boston, so important to their success.
You're just with us. OKC has led the Celtics by as many as 10. Alexander going after Brown, and he'll finish.
Wow.
SGA will handle. That's thrown away. Clear sailing for Jaylen Brown, who decides to lay it up at the last hit. Back out to Dort. SGA crosses over Brown, and Jay Williams, it seems, Oklahoma City has 3 Williams and 2 Jalen Williams, and there's Grant Williams to finish. Jalen Williams thought about it with Grant in front of him. He's cut up by Grant, but leaves it for Giddey.
Brown's right arm.
Pokashevsky could have a chance, gets it up.
Playing great basketball.
Defender for the master, Jayson Tatum.
We covering pre and post game back on this. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into Celtics post game live. I am your host, Rob Attain. I am with my co-host Ian Angelo as we are excited to bring to you guys yet another post game live. The Celtics defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder 126-122 in a comeback victory. Jayson Tatum led the way for all Celtic scorers. He had 27, tagged on 10 rebounds, but Brown was right behind him. He had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And you cannot fail to mention Marcus Smart's 22.5 rebound and 8 assist night. Ian, the Celtics advanced to 11-3, which is looking to be the best record in the NBA. Smart was phenomenal. It started off shaky. The C's managed to grit and grind into another win. What are your thoughts and takeaways from this big-time win at home?
This game was stressful. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since we've had one of those stressful Celtics games that we have to watch, but it was a crazy comeback. The Celtics were down by at most 15. It looked like the Thunder were just getting every single shot, and they somehow just came out in the end, and they had just a huge fourth quarter, and it was just an insane collapse by the Thunder. I don't know how you collapse that bad at the end of the game. Like, the end game execution was terrible, but I mean, it was just an insane game overall. I can't believe the Celtics ended up pulling that game out, and Marcus Smart and Peyton Pritchard came up huge in that fourth quarter. Oh, I can't hear you, Rob. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this game was nuts. I can't hear you, Rob.
All right, we should be good now.
There it is. Yeah, I got you.
All right, sorry about that. Like I said, though, I was saying you guys couldn't hear me. C's came up big tonight. It looked like, oh no, Thunder came to play. Props to them. Offensively, the Thunder were getting anything and everything they wanted. They had 35 points in the first quarter, 34 in the second. C's kind of buckled down. They kept up with them offensively. They buckled down on the defensive end, holding them to 27 and 26 in the second half, in the third and fourth quarter, respectively. Tatum was unable to get anything going from beyond the arc. He still finished with 27, which has kind of been the theme this year with Tatum. He's walking into these big nights despite some poor shooting nights. He was 1 of 9 from beyond the arc, 0 of 5 to open up the game in the first quarter. And what was the key to the Celtics win tonight?
Oh, it was Peyton Pritchard and Marcus Smart at the end of that game. And the fact that they were able to force, when you're able to force 15 steals in a game and have the other team have 19 turnovers overall, that is a pretty a pretty good indicator that you might be able to win the game. And it was the Celtics defense down the stretch that really helped them win this game tonight, because without it, I don't know if they would have won it with the way that they were playing throughout the first part of that game.
Absolutely. I think the Celtics showed their depth yet again. This team it's 10-man deep. Pritchard came up huge tonight, 10 points, 5 rebounds for Pritch, earning his minutes, obviously with Brogdon out of the lineup. I'm sorry, 4 rebounds for Pritchard. Obviously with Brogdon out of the lineup, he's given an opportunity here. And I think that's what's so special about this team is how deep our bench can go. Although Pritchard was not the only one off the bench making an impact. Derek White, 16 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, tagged along 4 of the Celtics' 15 steals tonight in the win. Ian, how big is it to have not only Pritchard, not only Hauser, not only Brogdon, but also now Derek White, who got replaced in the starting lineup, got sent to the bench? How much better has White been off the bench for the Celtics?
Honestly, I think White can be a starter in almost every single team in the NBA. But the fact that he is playing off the bench with the Celtics, and the fact that his energy and his defense is probably insanely key to the Celtics, the way that the Celtics have been playing, especially with Malcolm Brogdon out of the lineup, they need Derek White to step up on both the offensive and the defensive end. And we always know how terrific Derek White's defense is, but his offense is starting to turn around a lot more than when he first started with the Celtics last season.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a win at home against Oklahoma. This should have been a much easier win, but when you're shorthanded, you're down Brogdon, you're down Robert Williams, obviously, who we'll talk about a little bit later, as he should be inching closer to a comeback. I mean, this is a big time win. If you listen to the post game interview, Marcus Smart was talking after the win, and he was saying how they haven't had one of these grinded out wins yet this season. And he also mentioned that if this was last year, this was a game that they would have not have won. I think you can really see the growth with this Celtics team so far to start this season. I mean, 11-3 with no Robert Williams is something that we did not expect, Ian, at all.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The fact that the Celtics are getting it done the way that they're getting it done, they're not getting it done on the defensive end. It's their offense that has just been insane. I mean, if I told you the Celtics were going to be like the best offense in basketball, and their defense would only be, middle of the pack towards the bottom of the league, I don't think any of us would have thought that was going to be the case going into the season. But the fact that they're all playing together, they all seem to know what they're doing, and they all seem to have their head on straight. That play towards the end of the game where it looked like Smart set a screen for Tatum. Smart had the ball. He could have passed it back to Tatum, but no, Smart just ran towards the hoop, and he got it in at the end of the game. Those kind of plays you wouldn't have seen last season because they still didn't know how to play together. But now they've come such a long way, and the fact that the Celtics are doing what they're doing right now is just incredible to see, and we're not even at full strength yet, and that's the scariest part.
Yeah, I think this team has the capability of just find a way to win the game, right? They were down by, I believe at one point was 13, 14 points. And they've been through so much together. They're so experienced. They have so much trust in each other that in these types of scenarios, they have the ability to just find a way, whether it's on the defensive end, whether it's getting to the free throw line, whether it's offensively knocking down your threes. They did not shoot the ball well from beyond the arc at all. They shot the ball 10 of 37, 27% from the field. I mean, they really should not have won this game in any world. Yet the Celtics buckled down. They got steals when they needed to. They pick up the pace. They rebounded the basketball well. They found a way to get a win. Something here I want to talk about, Ian. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have playing a heavy load of minutes to start the year. Obviously, it's good to see them playing well, but for a team that's looking to make a run to the finals, would you like to maybe see these guys not playing 38 and 41 minutes each, maybe go down to 32 a couple of these nights?
I mean, obviously, that's the best case scenario. You would like to see them not get completely worn out from the regular season. But at the same time, I mean, it seems like they want to play. So you're not going to say, oh, you have to load manage, you have to rest, you have to do this, you have to do that. Unless an injury pops up, it looks like these guys just want to play no matter what happens. So
Yeah.
I obviously would like to see less minutes for them moving forward. You don't want them to get completely burnt out, but I feel like now in the beginning of the season, it's okay. But I think when you get closer towards the end of the year, that's when you should probably start worrying about your minutes.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes to play in the factor that we're not really healthy quite yet. Obviously, if we had guys like Gallo, Rob, Brogdon in the lineup, that kind of puts those guys' minutes down. I would like to see Hauser playing 24 minutes. He's only playing 6. He played 16. White obviously played 33. And I mean, outside of Hauser and Pritchard off the bench and White, you don't really have much depth right now. I maybe like to see a little bit more of Blake Griffin. But again, Cornette, you don't want to see him too much of him. Von Lay, I would like to see a little bit more, but not a lot of depth for Tatum and Brown to really take nights off when they are on the court. I do think that you could start to see some rest on back-to-backs here and there. But in terms of when they're actually on the court, I would expect some heavy loads until they start to potentially show signs of injury. Hopefully that's not the case, but you never know. Ian, Wednesday night, Celtics head on the road to face the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks, I believe, they're beating the Bucks right now, 108-97, 3 minutes left. Assuming they hold on, Celtics will have the best record in the NBA. Hawks will be 9-5. They're a big lineup. Capella, John Collins. Obviously, we know what their backcourt can do with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. What do the Celtics need to do against the Hawks in order to pull out another win? Their 8th straight win.
I mean, I'm not going to say that it's going to be an easy win, obviously, because it's not. But there is one good thing. The Hawks no longer have Danilo Gallinari, so, he can't beat us when it comes to that because Gallinari always skilled the Celtics. But honestly, I think it's going to be another offensive shootout, just how every other game has been this season so far. So if Tatum has a better night shooting on Wednesday, Brown is still doing what he's doing, Smart's doing what he's doing. I mean,
yeah.
It's going to be I don't think there's no way it's going to be a defensive battle. I cannot see this game being a defensive battle, especially with the firepower that the Hawks have, especially with Trae Young, because Trae Young can torch anyone at any time. So I expect it to be an offensive showdown. And I mean, I could see it being like a game like tonight where it's just nonstop action the entire game.
Yeah. I think we got to rebound the basketball. Capella could kill us on the boards. I'd expect we're going to probably continue to roll with this bigger lineup with Grant. I love Grant so far. I would expect a close game, right? Celtics looking for 8. The teams are going to want to knock these C's off now, especially when you're not, not only are the Boston Celtics that are defending Eastern Conference champions, but anytime you have a team on a big time winning streak that teams are going to want to be the team to knock you off. They're going to want to end the streak. You're going to see that with Atlanta. They're going to come out hungry, I think. But how about Marcus Smart, Ian? Smart, like I said, 22, 8 assists, averaging 9.6 assists in the last 5 games. The dude has been unbelievable. Is it crazy to say if the Celtics keep this up, Smart could be an all-star? I mean, is that crazy to say?
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Marcus Smart, he's playing elite defense. I mean, tonight he was 8 of 12 shooting. And, he's not obviously known for his offense, but I mean, the fact that he's been able to pass the ball as well as he's been doing, the way that he's been able to shoot the ball recently, I mean, you maybe have a case for him to be an all-star. The guard position is very deep in the East, though. So I feel like the Celtics would have to go like a huge, huge winning streak, like 20-game winning streak for something like that to happen. Only because there is a whole lot of talented guards in the East. You got Trae Young, Darius Garland. There's just a whole bunch of people. So you never know. Marcus Smart might be able to make it in at one point, but that we'll have to see. But he is having an insane season right now, and he's proving that he can be the point guard that the Celtics need, because there's still people that doubt him, that he can't be the point guard that the Celtics need. And the fact that he's been able to, average, like, what do you say, 9.6 assists over the last few games, like,
Yeah.
I think he's just having an incredible season, and it's what the Celtics have been needing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the biggest change here, you said it best, I think, is the passing. Smart has always been a phenomenal defender, obviously reigning defensive player of the year, one of the best perimeter defenders that the league has to offer. When you look at Smart, though, in his first 8 seasons of the NBA, he wanted to be this 3 and D wing player that he really couldn't be because he's not a phenomenal shooter. He really wanted to be the third scoring option for the C's, and it just never really worked out. Fast forward a year now, he gets the point guard's position. He wasn't playing to this level at all last year. It feels like every night he is doing something offensively that impacts the game and is the reason why we're winning. Whether it's passing the ball, whether it's coming out, having 22 points tonight, obviously knocking down the three ball when he needed to. I mean, Smart's been huge. If the C's can keep this up, I see no reason why, if Drew Holiday has found himself in the All-Star game, if Kyle Korver has found himself in the All-Star game, Marcus Smart can as well. The reason I say that, he might be better. He might be better than some of these guys like, he's not better than guys like LaMelo Ball and guys like Darius Garland, right? Obviously, Garland's probably a lock. Ball's up in the air. Tyrese Halliburton. Some of these bottom of the, scratch-ins that are averaging 23 points but are on teams like the Pacers and the Knicks, stuff like that. When you are the 1 seed, you are usually gifted an extra all-star. We've seen this, like I said, Jeff Teague found himself in the all-star game for a year when the Hawks were rolling. And like I said, Korver, and you've seen some crazy all-stars. Smart, defensive player of the year, averaging almost a double-double at this point. I'm averaging 10 points, 7.5 assists, passing the ball phenomenally. Celtics are rolling. Tatum will for sure be an all-star. You'll expect to see Brown in there. I wouldn't be shocked to see Marcus Smart in the all-star game this year if the Celtics can keep playing at this level.
All right. I'm going to give you some names of guards in the East, and you tell me if Marcus Smart could be an all-star over them. Ready? All right. Tyrese Halliburton.
I think he could potentially be, yes.
Trae Young.
No.
Drew Holiday.
No.
Drew Holiday is in the MVP race right now.
The MVP?
He's in the MVP race. According to Basketball Reference's MVP tracker, he's 5th.
I think Marcus Smart could potentially be an all-star over Drew Holiday, yes.
DeJounte Murray.
No.
All right. I don't know if – do you count Jimmy Butler as a guard?
No. I mean, and Smart – Jimmy's a lock-in, most likely.
All right. Donovan Mitchell.
No.
Darius Garland.
No.
All right. So that's like 6 players I named that I feel like can be in there over Smart. And the only reason why I say that is because – Tyrese Maxey.
I think Smart has more of an impact than Tyrese Maxey, and if the Celtics are the 1 seed, I think they give my point is that when your team's the 1 seed, you are usually given 3 all-star spots, and it's usually to a guy that isn't necessarily better than guys like Halliburton or Garland or whoever it may be, but because they're making such an impact on such a good team. Teams like to gift those types of players as an all-star spot. Like Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert really isn't better than some of the other guys out west. He just was a key factor to the Jazz success in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that. I think it's just going to be one of those things where, I don't know, there was those years that Draymond was an all-star where he arguably couldn't have been an all-star. I just personally think the guard position is just stacked in the East. So it's going to be tough for him to make it in. He might have to be like one of those like injury replacement guys. But, he could easily find himself up there with the way that he's playing right now.
And I think the fact that we're even saying this is a good sign, right? Obviously, Smart doesn't have to make the all-star game. Just make it a conversation that you should be in there. And that's all I want out of Smart, right? That's enough for me. We already got 2 lock-in all-stars. So
All right, so he's averaging, I think it's 11 and a half now, but it's 11.4 points, 7.1 assists on the season.
Yeah. I mean,
who
like
knows?
I said,
Maybe.
It all depends on the Celtics record. There will be players who, if he makes it, there will be players who are better than him, who are putting up better stats than him, who don't make it. It's just purely off the fact that the Celtics are the 1 seed. With that being said, Celtics versus Hawks Wednesday night, 7:30 tip-off. We will have you covered here for post-game live right after the final buzzer. Catch me, Ian, and Justin right back here. Celtics catch a big win, 126-122. They pick up their 7th straight win. Marcus Smart was the star of the show tonight. Pritchard helped out. White bench.
In a row.
Bench was good. Robert Williams, hope to see him back soon. I'm Rob. That's Ian. You know us.
Keep the new city jersey.
Oh, those are clean. I got to get myself one of those.
These are
need
clean.
myself one of those. Those are beautiful. But, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're super excited that the C's are winning. We'll catch you on Wednesday night.